blood, and the bot lane for him just ran away with the game there. We're into pick and bans now, nice and quick. Gonna jump into this one. Let's see if we do see the fabled Ivan ban.
Oh,
that is banned away!
I knew it.
I can't believe they
called
did
it first.
Fantastic. That's them saying and admitted we don't know how to play against this.
Yep.
We're not going to try. And fair enough. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah, Jin's like, I'm not having any of that. Not any of that level 2 gank on our bot lane. So they're going to ban it away. Nidalee is the other ban away for Vega Squadron. Man, I said if it goes off, it's going to get banned. And I think we got our answer. Now, do Saigon Jokers now revert back to the Lee Sin, or do we see Yi Jin on something else? Is the question. The Karma's going to get banned away from Edward, which again was pretty influential in that last game.
Yeah, we've said it all tournament. Karma is just really powerful at the minute. With most of the bot lanes you take, you tend to see a Jin there. Really good for the shields, the full utility pack that she brings. I won't hammer on the point anymore. I think I've gone through it about 5 times this tournament so far. Just a very solid pick. And if she isn't banned, we've seen her picked, I think, every single game in the tournament. So to see her banned away, again, it's just trying to upset the flow that Vega have got into last game. If they can keep most of their picks and just change out the Ivan, maybe if they subbed it in with a Nunu, for example, then it still would have been a very effective bot lane. So I'm curious to see what they try and mix up here. Interestingly, Zyra banned away. You know, these are the 2 supports we've seen all tournaments. That's going to definitely throw things in the lurch a little bit.
Yeah, we have seen Tom Kench as well come through, but melee support's not the biggest priority on those at this current time. Olaf is going to be the hover here. Now, he wasn't banned out. I don't normally speak about hovers, but I thought I'd just do it now. In fact, I'm going to speak about locking, because he is just locked in. Vega Squadron taking that one away. Another one of those champions at the moment that is just pick banned all the time, because he is so strong. And Yi Jin did pretty well on the Lee Sin last time they faced Vega Squadron. Not last game, the last best of 3 that they did have. I want to see him go back on it again. But against the Olaf, it's going to be a tough matchup.
It is, yeah. I like that they've managed to get hold of the Olaf here, because it does mean, well, you know, Sanzara's played it a couple of times. It's very strong when you get towards the mid-late game, once you start getting tanky. As I said before, you ignore all the CC on the enemy team. Their only response is to try and kill you. And when you build full tank, well, you're doing your job. You're trying to soak as much damage as possible. You have to burn ults to try and kill you. That's why it's such a nice pick. And I like here that they're prioritising the Syndra. They have to take the Syndra away. I can't believe it was actually left open here. I'm really pleased to see them taking it away.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised they didn't. Vega Squadron didn't take away in the first round of the draft. So obviously, Yi Jin has really only played the Lee Sin, and maybe leaving the Olaf, taking the Syndra, and waiting for the second rotation of picks to pick him up. I don't know, but the Syndra is going to be left open as well as the Lee Sin, so Warzone's going to get his hands on that one. But the Nami is going to be the pick away for Ron OP, leaving not very many supports that are all too favoured right now.
Yeah, in terms of supports that you take here to play with the Kate, we did see a Janet earlier on as well. You may synergize this pretty well with Caitlyn in terms of keeping her pretty safe from harm. Although having said that, I think you definitely need something that gives a shield here of some description, because you're against a Syndra and she will murder you if you're not careful, especially when you're playing an AD carry like Zyra. Now, Vlad being locked in, that's an interesting one, especially when you consider Cassiopeia gets countered so hard by Syndra.
Yeah, Vladimir just neutralizes that lane completely. There's no way that Syndra's going to be able to kill him after he gets the Spirit Visage. No way. It'll be interesting to see what build path he does go towards. Caitlyn wants to lock in away for Blazing, but a jungler that isn't Lee Sin. I'm a little bit surprised. Elise, something we haven't seen too much of as recently either, more favouring the Olaf, the Zac as well. But Elise is going to go towards Yi Jin. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with that one, as he's not played that with us just yet. And Celebrity getting his hands on the Lucian.
Yeah, it's nice actually, because so far Saigon Jokers, they haven't got a single pick on their lineup here that was in the last game, so they're completely mixing things around, thinking, right, we need to switch things up and surprise Vega here, because otherwise they may well just roll off the back of momentum and roll us 2-0 and get that qualification spot, which we so sorely want. But I do like the Vladimir in terms of the teamfight potential that it brings, the chaos it can bring as well. Having that real tanky frontline can help, and in fact, if they get the Alice has gone in there and has the Echo. Those are two really nice tanky picks in the late game. I know earlier on I said something to the effect of Echo isn't really a true tank. He's an assassin who's kind of flitted over to be a tank. He's not a true tank, but he is a great split pusher. This comp here has got such a scary front line. They keep blasting safe. They have nothing to worry about, I don't think.
Well, blasting shows what he could do last game on the Caitlyn with the help of Ivan. And now he's gone Alistair, Echo, Vladimir and Olaf to stand in his way and in between him and the rest of Saigon Jokers. With that protection, he does seem to do so well. As long as he can keep that DPS hot on the backline, there's not much Saigon Jokers can do to get in between them. But it is going to be a Fiora picked up in the top lane going against this Echo. That's a skill matchup if I ever have seen one. And with that innate burst damage as well coming out of the Syndra, Blazing's going to have to be very, very careful.
I like that we are literally seeing completely different champions in this game. We saw Echo on the side of Saigon Jokers last time round, and of course we did see the Caitlyn on blasting last game too. But other than that, all the other 8 picks are completely fresh changes. So it's not like they're trying to copy over what they've seen previously or what they've done previously. It's all new. That is exciting.
It is exciting. It's always good to see completely different drafts coming out from either team. And I'm just excited to see Jin's, at least to be honest with you. If you remember, yesterday we were talking about how he was on the youth. And maybe this is his first big event and he's got a bit of stage fright, but not proven that yesterday as they did beat out Vega Squadron 2-0. We'll see if they can do that here, if they can get the reverse sweep, because Vega Squadron right now, they are looking so hot. And if they do win this one, they will end up taking that one place at IEM Gyeonggi.
Indeed, they will. And we did have a bit of a tech issue there, guys. Just getting that fixed for you now. This is going to be a really good game. If this goes 2-0 to Vega Squadron, then Jesus, it's got to be hard to kind of sit in Saigon Joker's shoes here and think, we're about to get beaten out by a team who we 2-0'd yesterday. Yeah. They've cheated with an Ivan. They've picked a completely different team here and may well do exactly the same thing again. What do we do? It must be such a big mind game and constantly playing over in their minds thinking, this can't be happening right now. Surely not. Of course, if this game ends that way, then they'll go away absolutely broken-hearted and it will be Vega who go through to IEM Gyeonggi. But let's find out how it goes. We are onto the Rift and this is where things get exciting.
That it does. Blue side, we have Vega Squadron. And on the red side, Saigon Jokers. Vega Squadron 1-0 in this series so far. And some interesting picks have been laid before us. Row on the Fiora, something I really want to see actually. There's no non-holy on that top side. He is so good at pushing his advantages. And if he can get Row even an inch behind, I'm going to think it's going to be really hard for Row to actually be relevant in this game.
Absolutely. And for the sake of making sure we don't call out any random shockwaves again, what's your current timestamp? Wow, hang on a minute. Flash burn by Yijin there.
We'll sort that out in a minute. Early flash. That could be huge actually in the first gank he wants to make through the game. I'll tell you when I'm reach 115, by the way. I just want to sort this out, like, now? 115?
115.
Okay, we're
16,
good.
17, 18, so on.
Okay, I'm like a second ahead of you, so I'm just going to... I paused it and unpaused it, I think.
Okay, we should be fine.
We'll be fine. It'll be alright. Love it. Yep, flash burned already.
On-air sync issues. We love it.
I know someone said I called out a shockwave before it happened. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't want to do that again.
No. Mind reading. That's what it is.
No, unfortunately, well, not to say unfortunate, we are casting from the UK here while the event is taking place in Paris, which is why we're having to get these syncs up. It's interesting to have to do, but there we go.
Yeah, interesting experience. Warzone, though. Thing is, he can damage Drovovic in the early game. He can just suppress him a little bit. Just the sustain from Drovovic obviously is very, very apparent. And as well, when he gets those defensive stats, and it's going to be even harder for Warzone to try and take him out. He has got Ignite, however.
He does. Blue red buff being taken away there. Clearing through relatively quick. We're both matching each other. I wonder if they try and both make an appearance in the bot lane after they've done their second counts, maybe, and end up clashing in the river.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't got flash there. That's the problem on Yijin. He's going to have to be fairly well telegraphed, and he's going to have to path really, really well to catch someone off with that cocoon. Warzone just trying to punish Drovovic here, just pushing him into his tower. No blue for him early this game either.
Yeah, that's become a quite staple thing we've seen all tournament, where you see the mid laners get the blue buffs early on. It would be nice for Warzone. Of course, no need really for Drovovic to have it here. It's just more for Warzone especially. But they'll want to make sure he doesn't get that, I think, and Yijin, rightly so, taking it away for himself, thinking, I'm Elise, I need mana right now. Sorry, bro, not right now.
Could be the last game, Darian. We've got an Infernal Drake.
That's nice. We've had that a couple of times today. So for those who are joining as well and haven't really realised this, for the last couple of days, actually the last 3 days, every single Drake in a game has been a Cloud Drake or an Ocean Drake. And now we're finally starting to see something different.
The last day of the tournament, and we are finally getting a change. Ejin not getting invaded too early again. Yeah, when it counts. Yeah, exactly, when it counts. Last best of 3, so why not all the dragons, all the good ones at least, are going to show up at once. Ejin trying to make something happen on the bottom side, like you said, but it doesn't look like Saigon Jokers are fairly pushed up at this point.
Quite defensive, which is surprising when you consider that you've got the Caitlyn here for the long-range poke. But equally, you're against a range support in Ron OP on the Nami. Edward has to go all in, really. He's gone for the Ignite again, so he did this yesterday when he plays Alistair. He will take Ignite in the bot lane and try and turn it into a kill lane. Maybe try and roam at some point as well.
Yeah, he's quite good on the roams, to be fair. Both of the supports are, really.
Yeah, they've both been pretty free in terms of how willing they are to move and walk away. Although
Caitlyn
earlier on we saw when the rampage. Is there something crazy?
Yeah, was a bit mad.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, but they got the kill, so it worked. So I was just like, well, you've now abandoned your AD carry who fell about 15 CS behind.
He is completely alone. But I suppose the gold evens out in that sense. Zanzara is not going to spot Yi-Jin. Yi-Jin's going to take a really aggressive route here. Behind, not going to... Oh, that is the worst when you're Elise. When you repel and there's no camp on the other side, you're just hanging in midair for a few seconds. Oh. Zanzara looking towards the mid lane. Ghost has been popped. Instant flash. Respect flash coming out from Warzone, actually. Doesn't want to get caught up in those axes. Ejin. Yeah, he's been able to just walk towards the mid lane, though. There's nothing really he can do. Zanzara already fairly tanky as Olaf's get in the early game. Their base health is... pretty annoying to deal with. The percentage damage, obviously, on the Ejin, something to keep in mind as well, but not doing all too much, especially as she hasn't backed either, and she's already 10 CS behind as well, to note.
Yeah, kind of affected there, I guess. Equally, you look in the top lane, and it's 40 to, well, nearly 30 here as well. Fiora, or Ro, I should say, starting to put on some pressure up here. No Holy. Oh, trying to trade back and forth here.
Oof. A really unlucky position of the Vital there. Procs it again. Parallel Convergent is going to come down. Not going to do much to Ro. He's just going to be able to back off. Yeah, Non-Holy just taking an absolute beating here. He's gone for the Dark Seal again, though. Get that added regen for the Corrupting Potion.
Quite nice, actually, as well, but I think Drobovic here is respecting the Syndra, going for that Negatron early. Wants to keep himself safe, and there's a lot of poke to come out of Warzone. He did start with the boots as well, so the added move speed, plus the pots that he can obviously sit on once you get those 4 pots you can pick up at that point. Just all about respecting the Syndra, trying to dodge as much of the Qs as possible, and not trying to think, you know, I can fight this fine, because Syndra, as we've said, has been pickle banned every single game this tournament. And actually,
with good reason. Whoa, hang on a minute. There's going to be an axe thrown in the mid lane. Zanzara is going to be here. First blood goes over to Drobovic. Just the ghost popped from both jungler and mid lane, plus the Ragnarok as well. And now Edward's in a little bit of trouble. He's only level 4. Flashes the Aqua Prism. And he's just going to be able to get out of that one. But us blood actually going over to Vladimir of all people. Drobovic has definitely got an upper hand in this matchup now.
Yeah, well, Zanzara, he knows that this Syndra is scary. He knows it's not an easy matchup. So every time he had the chance, he was there. He had the ghost down. He was straight in there with the ultimate as well, making sure this Syndra was going to die. I think the gank earlier on was not so much force, but they wanted to take the flash rather than a kill, because Syndra was already playing pretty defensively, and that has paid off dividends for them now in terms of getting the Vlad ahead. And of course the Sanguine Pool as well. This is why you pick Vlad into Syndra, is that you can basically negate the entire ultimate. Kind of put the option I think that Warzone will be looking for is when that Sanguine Pool is down, that's when you hit the go switch and when you use the ultimate. But look at the poke still coming out here. It's so oppressive.
Yeah, Double Dorrance and the Amp Tome certainly doing their work. Yeah, even with a Negatron Cloak, like you said, it's pretty destructive. She does burn a lot of mana doing it. I suppose that's the only issue. That wave is firmly pushing in Vega Squadron's favour. Ejin over on the top side, however, just clearing out his own red buff. And there's going to be a teleport as well away for Ro, so he's going to just get back to lane there. So he's not going to be able to use that in the early team fights we like to see them get.
Quite scary now in terms of how they keep themselves in this as well. I mean, for Saigon Jokers, they're not really far behind. They're 700 gold down at 8 minutes. It's not like it's a big deal. They've got the top lane going in their favour. Mid lane, it's a Syndra. It's always going to be scary. And bot lane is somewhat going in Vega's favour.
Ever so slight CS lead. And that's going to be a pretty even matchup just coming into this, just because Celebrity has got the heals from Ron OP. Same with blasting from Edward as well. So just really farming that one out and just making sure you hit those earlier power spikes with Celebrity. Ron OP, maybe, almost skipped into the parallel convergence then. Unholy is taking a lot of damage. Grand Challenge has been popped. 2 Vitals have been popped. He still has Flash available. Doesn't want to follow it up. Unholy taking a lot of damage there. He's going to have to watch out. That CS deficit is just ever growing. And now Jin has found Zenzara. He did get the cocoon, but Edward is here for the backup. Same with Ron OP. But taking away that blue buff as well, especially from an Elise and a Syndra, that might prove quite costly later on. Although Zanzara has been spotted, Ragnarok has going to be popped actually, Ignite as well. But the raw HP coming out from Zanzara with those 2 Ruby Crystals is pretty big. Drobovic does have to use the Ghost to get out of there as well. Again, all in all, that is going to be a blue steal away. And no real key summoner spells down on the side of Vega Squadron.
Yeah, they lose the Ghost on the Vladimir, but that's up with 150 seconds, so it's not really one to bat your eyelids at. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You will have it soon enough. Still has the Flash too, whereas here Warzone has neither. Did use the Ignite in that fight too. Overall, just a bit of a ult trades more, I think, rather than like summoner trades. Just the mid lanes, you still need to see the Syndra really start taking off. It gets to the 10-minute point as well. Hasn't really roamed bot lane to get any kills. Hasn't got any kills in the mid lane, of course, because we saw the Vladimir get the first blood. Been a little bit slow so far, and this is the worry for Saigon Jokers, is they need to be more proactive rather than reactive in this game. Otherwise, you might just find Vega to slowly start increasing this gold lead, which they're starting to amass. Currently only 700 gold, but it's still something. Before you know it, they might find themselves in a bit of a firmer lead. I still wonder when that first Drake is going to be started, though.
Yeah, it does seem Saigon Jokers definitely have the earlier game. Edward gets Flash Cocoon straight into the Alchemist. Celebrity is there as well. Edward has no ultimate available here at all. Wow, the W actually coming out from Celebrity is going to secure that kill. That was actually really, really perfect there, because he definitely needed that kill going up against Blasting. But meanwhile, on the top side as well, Ro actually goes down, and I believe Olaf actually just chased him out of the lane there and killed him. You can actually see that one. Observers, please.
Observers, please.
Battle Drake.
As I said, question for when it be started is now, but it's not going to be finished right now.
Drobovic, just too big of a menace. Doesn't want to start it when he's around. He does have Hemoplague available, remember. Level 9 at this current time. Oh. Nice battle. I think what's going to be cleared as well. That might be quite big as well. Oh, no. I take that back. Blasting had one in his inventory.
In bot lane, interestingly, you're actually seeing Caitlyn's gone the BS sword and then the pickaxe rather than going for like the zeal to go towards the Runar's Hurricane. That's usually what you see out of Caitlyn, but in this case, it's not happening. Not sure why.
At all. I mean, more damage? I don't know. It doesn't make too much sense. Obviously, a lot of people are going that route, like you said. Maybe just to trade up some of the damage coming on from Celebrity. Obviously, he's gone for that very early Ghost at Blade build, or at least he's got parts of it. With a CS lead as well on Blasting, so going to keep him in the game just a tad. And Edward has reached level 6 now. This is kind of a key point for them to look for a dive here.
Do they go for it is the big question. I still want to see Anzara start getting ahead as well. He's going for the Righteous Glory here before even finishing off the jungle item. Wants to obviously get the engage going down for the mid game when these fights kick off.
He's actually going to get spotted there. Drobovic going really low as well. He has got Ghost and Flash still available. Hemoplague also. There's a lot of people actually just posturing around this bottom side now. There's TPs up for both top laners. Riposte there. Riposte goes one of his auto attacks. He's going to back off though. He just takes so much harass from Ro. He has got the Tiamat as well already at this point. And with a Sheen on the side of Non-Holy, he can't trade all too well in these extended trades. CS lead just gathering a little bit for Ro, and here might be the dive. We do have Zanzara in this bottom bush here. Ragnarok and Ghost available. Celebrity's going to get knocked up and pulverized and just gets disintegrated by Edward. They're going to trace Ron OP now. Ace in the hole coming through. There is going to be a cocoon onto Zanzara as well. This Ghost is still active. He's trying to get Ron OP. Now he's just turning onto Jin. Jin going really low here. Edward's behind him as well. There's going to be a flash pulverize, in fact, and headbutt away. Repel comes through. He goes onto Zanzara, but he still goes down. That axe just finds its target and picks him up.
Nicely done. Looking good for Vega so far. Now they've pushed that goal lead to 2k.
Oh,
Can
yes.
if they come back into the Saigon Jokers, this is going to be absolutely crazy. They get first brick as well. That extends it to 3k in the lead. And now they're going to try and do Drake. Zanzara needs to be wary of his health bar, mind you.
He is pretty low. But he should be all right.
He's
healing
speed,
up,
boys. All planned.
Yeah, it's all planned attack speed, exactly. He's getting healing as well, so that's not too much of an issue. Vic's taking a little bit of damage, but with that dragon taken over, that's going to be a nice power spike boost for a lot of these champions later on in the game. Oh, maybe looking for Drovovic here. No. Hyperbeg actually goes down to Warzone. Warzone has very little mana as well, but Celebrity is here. There comes the ultimate from Syndra, just not killing him. Ignite ticking, but I don't think he's going to go down. Only just manages to survive. Edward comes in at the last second as well, just to deter them. Drobovic, with sub 20 HP there, only just managed to get away from that tick of Ignite. Only one more auto would have done that as well. He's going to escape with his life. He's going to want to buy some resistances, like there. He just picked up the Merc Treads as well to stop some of the stuns coming through. Damn. Now Non-Holy's in a little bit of trouble. Whoa, I take that back, actually. Celebrity's in a bit of trouble. Non-Holy, ultimate available, just 2v1 there. Cocoon is going to miss. Yijin is going to be round on the side there. Repel, and he flashes away there at the key time, so the Repel couldn't land.
Unfortunate.
Oh, Ron OP now is in a little bit of trouble. Jeez, Vega Squadron really wants some of these kills to extend their lead. It's going to be a nice riposte there. Grand Challenge is going to be used. Zanzara going really low here. Undertow being used. Hits her to get the slow, and Edward popping the ultimate as well. Going to mean the damage reduction is going to come through, but Vega Squadron, we talked about their macro last game. They're already in on top of this top tower here, and they are going to take it down for the second tower of the game. And now Edward's going to be... Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he just goes down.
Not so good.
Not so good.
But there's still like 4k in the lead here. This is looking great for Vega.
Really is. Non-Holy now wandering towards the mid lane, looking for something to go for. Warzone, no flash, remember. And Ron OP taking a lot of damage. Just steps forward. I think he tried to clear a ward there, and Blasting just says goodbye. Good night. Sends her to the fishes.
Just blasted, you could say him. Blasted him.
Blasted. Do you not like my one? Send it to the fishes, no? Sleeping with the fishes.
Sleeping with the fishes, yeah. Bit of a Mafia reference.
Yeah. Cool. Still, man. Still good, man. Warzone. Finally got a blue buff, by the way.
Finally got one, yeah. I'm curious to see as well what Yijin builds here if he goes damage. Like, so far he's gone for the Runic Echoes. Does he now turn that into a Proto Belt and then look to a Rylai's? Or does he try and go full tank instead? He's got a couple of options.
Looking for something here, maybe? No.
Gone.
He's gone.
Quite over.
Yeah.
But Edward from behind, though. I was going to say it's a bit risky. Just trying to get the ward down to probably see what was going on by the looks of it. Mid lane is still more of the same. Just have hold of that Morello's now on the Syndra too. They can fight up against the Vlad a little bit better, but still got to deal with that pull of the ultimate. That's what's really stopping him from being able to burst down Drobovic right now. It must be so frustrating to play against, seeing he's got Merc Treads, he's got Abyssal Scepter, he's got the pull to block the ultimate. It's, again, I haven't seen the Syndra do anything yet this game for that exact reason.
Yeah, she just cannot get the burst that she needed. I've seen a few people actually go the Void Staff second item, so it'll be interesting to see if that happens. Warzone is actually going to be able to spot out the two people here. One get bubbled. Edward is going to pop the ultimate, but Fiora is here as well. Zanzara is just running through the team fight, and there's the one shot she was after. Finally gets the kill. Wasn't a one-shot really, but she still got the kill. Now Blasting is in trouble. Roe, it takes so much damage though. She's going to have to actually back off there. There is going to be a flash away from Blasting, but still, he was putting out a lot of damage. Infinity Edge and Zeal just doing a lot of work, and Roe, with not many defensive stats at this point in the game, just took a little bit too much.
Well
then.
All a little bit scrappy. This is where the concerns for Vega start ramping up. We saw this from Rampage earlier, actually, where they would try and get a kill or two and end up trading back just as many to try and get that kill in the first place, therefore negating the whole process. Don't want to see Vega doing that here, because they've had a pretty good start so far. They've got a 3-0 Echo in the top lane, who's getting very close to finishing off that Trinity Force.
Oh, speaking of Echo in the top lane.
Celebrity. Bye.
Celebrity, see you later. Cocoon comes through. He's going to jump onto Ron as well. He's actually just going to get Aqua Prismed up, and he's going to go down. Yijin secures that kill. Nice Aqua Prism from Ron OP, and Blasting just goes down in the mid lane as well. There's the one shot you're after, Derry. She just completely annihilated Blasting.
Damn straight she did. That's what we need to see more of as well. And keep on doing that to people, then that's the way they get themselves in this game and end up winning it out. Got the needlessly large rod now as well, so even more extra damage on top of what she had before. And now I think that it's kind of the laning phase is starting to break. AD carries appearing in different places around the map. It does mean that there are different targets to burst in the main pool.
Oh, Drogovic might be a little bit caught here as well. Grand Challenge is going to be popped, but the teleport is actually going to come through from Non-Holy. It does come from the base. He's just going to dissuade the rest of Saigon Jokers. Rift Herald has been started up, however, and that'll be a nice little power spike boost for him as well, because he's going to be able to duel the Fuhrer a little bit easier now. He's finished his Triforce as well, keep in mind. Yijin might want to go for this, though. They do have a lot of members here. It is very low at this point, though. 800 HP is just going to go down, and it will go over to Non-Holy with very little response from Saigon Jokers.
When does the Baron come into play here as well? It's within 50 seconds, but when do they start thinking about trying to take this one away? There's still a few inner towers up, and there's still, of course, the mid lane tower up here for Saigon Jokers. No towers have yet fallen for Vega. Really good defense across all lanes coming in for Vega so far, but that does mean there is a good few thousand gold locked away in those towers for Saigon Jokers to exploit if they manage to have a clean fight. Mountain Drake is now available too. That could be a next big part to fight, and I imagine both teams will want that for the Baron control in the first place, as well as the ability to drop down these towers at least that little bit quicker.
Definitely going to be handy for both teams, but Blasting setting up his Caitlyn trap line, that's something you want to go towards. And just thinking about this really like micro thing, but who's actually going to be able to step on those traps to clear them? Because there's so many squishy members on top of on the Saigon Jokers lineup. There's no real tank to just brute force some of that damage. And then you look at Vega Squadron, 4 tanks realistically, with Caitlyn obviously the only one that's fairly squishy.
She is. We did say in Champ Select that it is a very tanky lineup to kind of just be charged at, which I guess is where the worry for the Syndra comes in. Oh, Edward locked up.
Charging in here. Edward does get locked up, but now so is Celebrity. He has to flash the wall, in fact. Zanzara is going to pop the Ghost, pops the Ragnarok also. Now he's on Ron OP. Drogovic has arrived, though. Hemoplay goes out. He just almost insta-kills Celebrity. He goes down, but that's going to be a nice stun from Syndra. But this is all going in Vega Squadron's way. Yijin is going to run away now, and he only just manages to get out. If he was an inch closer to Edward, he'd surely have been dead. That's going to be 2 kills on the side of Vega Squadron here as they do siege up this mid tower. Oh my god, they're actually just going to go for a dive. Wow. Warzone just gets destroyed. Blasting says, thank you very much, I'll have some revenge. And Ron OP is just going to get pulled away as well. And he just falls into the pool, into his doom. Blasting picks up a double kill. They take the mid tier 1 tower, setting their sights on possibly the dragon.
In their sights on IEM Gyeonggi here. This is incredible play from Vega. I'm convinced the coach is correct here. He was saying yesterday they didn't know what was wrong. They just didn't play how they played for so long. They haven't had a chance to practice too much, but that's what Edward said in the interviews earlier on. But still, this is just looking super solid from them here, and they're giving the Saigon Jokers a good run for their money considering they beat them 2-0 yesterday. Really good stuff. I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
As am I. 13-5, and yeah, 2-0'd by Saigon Jokers yesterday. Maybe they can now just show that, yeah, they have improved. They've looked at their draft strategies. They've looked at their macro game. And they are definitely showing it here. This Fiora's getting fairly fed in this top side. 185 farm, 40 over the Echo, but she just hasn't had the impact she's needed in these team fights.
This is the issue, I think, with the Fioras. You don't take her for a team fight. You take her split push. Same way you should take the Echo for, really, but Echo is actually making a tangible impact in these fights as well. Back when Fiora, when she was a little bit stronger in team fights, if she got 2 or 3 items, she would just crush people. Whereas now, get to the late game to be able to do that, I think, 48% odd 2 damage on her ultimate when she's got a bunch of AD is fantastic. But in the early game, it's all about the split push, and that just isn't really enough, I don't think. Kind of have to question why there's no Poppy being brought out for either of these teams if they were after someone that can A, at least split push a little bit, and B, someone who can make an impact in the team fights, because team fights seems to be where they're losing out here.
Well, here's the team fight that they needed. Wow, beautiful scout of the week from Warzone, just dissuading Edward, just knocking him out of that headbutt. Unholy on the sideline there is going to get soloed out by Ro. Syndra is just so strong right now. We talked about the tank line coming in from Vega Squadron, but Warzone just seemed to shred them all. There's a lot of magic resist as well, and as soon as she gets that Void Staff, I can imagine she's just going to be so strong. Especially against Drobovic, who had to back off that fight rather readily. Although he's full HP again, he did manage to lifesteal a bit off those minions. Or transfusion a bit off those minions, but still, they do get shredded. And the CC as well coming out from Saigon Jokers is nothing to be scoffed at.
Absolutely not. And well, you can see here actually non-holy and Ro having a scrub. Is he going to die for this?
I don't think so. I mean, I probably would, but...
Would have been a bit crazy.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a bit too hand. He's just going to sit up in here, just farm up in this bottom side, just extending, well, trying to catch up even to the CS leader Ro. Although he is ahead in gold, 5 kills and 1 on this Echo. He's beginning to build a little bit more tanky as well. But he's going to be quite the pain to deal with later on.
Indeed it is. 2 items apiece now on the mid laners. Bit of an advantage over towards the Vladimir here, mind you. Of course, he has a needlessly large rod compared to the Doran's ring on the Syndra. But still both looking very strong and impactful in these fights, no doubt. This is where the mid laners really kind of start to come into play now. They both had time to scale up, get those first couple of items. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to actually see Drobovic going in with Zanzara in these fights, just trying to bring down Celebrity. He's not doing too great. He's 1-4 and 2, but finished off the Yomus. He's finished off the Black Cleaver, and there's Lucian.
Whoa.
They're really the only 2 key items you need to make an impact. Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
Ro is just trying to he is getting melted. Rift Herald buff not even necessary. Ro just takes him out, just wipes off the face of the Rift. That was a good ground challenge by him. He is going to pick himself up a kill, so redeeming himself just a little bit. And that shred from the Black Cleaver as well really helped him in that fight. Now, the rest of Vega Squadron are in these bushes here. They do get caught up. The tidal wave comes through, but Yijin is on the front line, just gets destroyed by Blazing. And like you said, Zanzara just runs towards Warzone, and Warzone just melts where he stands.
Well, actually what happened there as well was Warzone ulted onto Drobovic, and Drobovic has got so much magic resist right now that he was just like, whatever. It didn't even do beyond 30% of his HP, so it was just a bit of a waste, to be honest. You know, I'd much rather try and kill Zanzara, the guy who's charging at me and desperately trying to kill me, over the Vladimir, who's a bit further back, can't necessarily kill me outright. Just a little bit of a crazy decision there, and this is the issue I think for Saigon Jokers. They need to protect these squishies or this game's over.
Oh man, speaking of protecting the squishies, Celebrity is almost going to fall down here. He's trying to survive against Unholy, does flash over the wall just to get away, and Ro actually TP'd in there to the Baron, which just got secured by Vega Squadron, just got instantly deleted, and now Ron OP is the target for Drobovic. He won't go for the dive, however. The Baron buff is on the side of Vega Squadron. 5 members alive, 5 members active with the Baron buff. This is looking like it's all going wrong for Saigon Jokers. Yijin trying to get out of here. There's no way they can walk up to these guys right now. They are so strong, and Blasting is just doing so much damage. He's got the Rune-Out Hurricane. He's got the Infinity Edge. Is there anybody that can get on top of him right now to take him out?
This is where the Fiora falls down. I think you know the enemy team has taken a very big fight team. They want to get in your face with these 4 big bulky tanks at the front, and well, not tanks, but they can't really call Vladimir a tank, although he is pretty tanky. They want to get in front of all of you and just cause absolute chaos. Fiora does not kind of suit playing against that style of play. Okay, she's got % max health damage, and there's a lot of health on this team being stacked up for Vega Squadron, but you need something that can protect Celebrity, that can protect Warzone, and at the minute they just cannot do that. Of course, when you've got a Olaf charging at you, that's incredibly difficult, but then you look towards something that can provide terrain. I'm not saying take something like a Nivea top, but they should have maybe thought a little bit more about what was going to happen in this game if they didn't get ahead, because right now they aren't ahead, and I don't really see an easy way for them back into this game, bar a major mistake from Vega.
See if they can use that to their advantage, if they do make a mistake, that is. Zanzara just gets cocooned up, but look at the damage coming through. It's just absolutely massive from Blasting. He's just tearing through, and now Zanzara's going to pop the Ragnarok as well. And he actually goes down. Fiora, maybe it's her time to shine. She picks up a double kill, and now Edward even is on the menu. He's going to be able to get out of there. Does manage to flash away in time. And it looks like a blue buff was actually thrown at somebody there by the Syndra. Not entirely sure what happened and how it got there, but Warzone is now just getting jumped on. Drobovic uses the Proto Boat, picks up the kill. Look at the regeneration coming through him as well. Yijin had to flash over the wall there. And all meanwhile, Unholy just takes an inhibitor. In fact, double kill down in the bot lane. The fight hasn't finished just yet. It's 1v3 on Drobrik's side. Celebrity almost goes down, but the damage coming out from him is huge. Ro is almost going to go down. Triple kill. He takes one out with him. Almost picking up Celebrity. I thought it was too, but he only just managed to pick up the Nami. And then now Non-Holy, they've just left him alone. 2 towers and now possibly 2 inhibitors down for Saigon Jokers.
I can't believe they've left him alone for so long. If he gets that second inhibitor, it's huge. But he's probably going to have to back away here.
He's backing off here, yeah.
Now, I did turn around and say that if the only thing that could kind of get them back into this was a mistake by Vega, that was a little bit of a mistake. They had 3 versus 5 in the bot lane there, which is why to begin with they lost out so heavily. But then, in came Drobovic, he's 5-1-5, he's got a death cap on the Vladimir. He nearly got a triple kill at the very end of that. I'm kind of gutted he didn't, because it would have been super cool for an outplay if he'd used pull, got all the health back for the damage he was dealing whilst underneath, and then came up with an E and killed everyone. But you know, at least Ro is showing he's still a relevant factor in this game and could do work. He is being forced to go towards the Spirit Visage here though, because he's getting melted in these fights when he doesn't have the riposte up.
Really is. He really has to use it at the right time as well. The CC obviously from Echo and the Alistair, pretty daunting when you look at it. Warzone has got the blue buff again. I think he's actually just caught out a little bit here. Yeah, Ragnarok is popped. He does follow through with the ghost. Zanzara is just going to back off at this point. Flash burn from Warzone. That could be pretty big in these team fights because he's just getting dove. Oh, Edward.
Bit of a tech issue there, guys. Sorry about that.
All good. Hopefully we're back.
Not yet. The video basically has died, which is fantastic.
Oh.
It's coming.
All right,
it's coming.
Well, all right. Non-Holy's in the mid lane, so he's just pushing that inhibitor. Members down for Vega Squadron in the mid lane. In the bottom lane, even. They're all down there just trying to siege up this tower. They are actually going to go for this one. 2-man Hema Plague. Warzone just gets disintegrated. Bye. There goes the mark. He goes down. Warzone just not having a good game. Maybe almost baited into taking this Syndra, it feels like at this point, because Drobovic says, hey, I've played this matchup a million times before, and I know how much Vladimir outscales the Syndra, especially when we've got this kind of lead. Is this Vega Squadron securing their place in the next IEM, Derry?
They've got 3 inhibitors, and generally the stats say if you lose even 2 inhibitors, your chances of winning the game are below 10%, and that's how it's looking right now. Vega, they're going for the end. Vega coming back from losing 0-2 yesterday. They're about to close out this game and get themselves a place. Last fight coming through.
Oh, Rose trying to do something in the back line, but no, there is going to be a pop of the Grand Challenge, but it's not going to matter. 2 members bubbled up there for Vega Squadron. Beautiful Agro Prism, but it does count. That's what makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense anymore. Drobovic getting a double kill will make that a triple kill. Yi Jin, the last members alive, but no. Vega Squadron coming back with a 2-0 over the Saigon Jokers, have booked their place at IEM Gyeonggi. What an incredible best of 2. Best of 3, but not best of 2.